Hi guys, and welcome to Phosphorus 5. So in this video I am going to create a CRUD app, and more specifically a responsive CRUD app. So here I have a default empty Phosphorus 5 installation. I'm logged in as root, which implies I can just simply open up Camphora 5 and I can create a new CRUD app. I'm gonna call my CRUD app TODO. I want it to have a desktop icon, and I want to have a couple of fields: header, single line text, body. I don't want to display it in the grid, and I want it to be markdown type of content. Then I want to have a field with the name of done, which I want to be a checkbox. I want to display done in the grid, and let's create one called type. And then let's make sure we turn it into radio buttons with the options of feature, bug, documentation, and that's it. And then I want to create a view. And I want to count the number of done items. I want its header to be percentage done. I could use a bar chart, however I want to use a pie chart. And this is the ratio of done to remaining items for project foo bar. Okay, then I want to have another view where I want to count here too. However, instead of grouping by done, I want to group by type. Types of to-dos. Can use a bar chart, I guess. How many items there are for each type of to-do in your database. Okay. Whoops. Count type. Okay. It needs a unique name. And at this point I can simply click the power chord thing here that generates my app. Yes. And I have now created a responsive web app. Let's open it up. Let's start adding some features. Go shopping. Well, fix bug with rendering on device. You know what? iPhone rendering of checkboxes. That's probably a more relevant type of to do. We need to fix the rendering of checkboxes on iPhones. It doesn't entirely work as expected. This is not done, it's a bug, and I can save it. Fix exception in foo bar widgets. The foo bar widget throws an exception. Make sure we fix this. This is a bug. Save. Implement support for mom's refrigerator. Was that spelled correctly? Whatever, doesn't matter. Apps don't render correctly on fridges that are using the Android operating system. Now this is, of course, the body here, of course, is a markdown field. This is a feature, I guess. And then document the foobar widget. This needs to be done. Documentation, save. And of course, now I can edit my items. I can sort according to type. I can sort according to done. None of them are done, of course. I can filter iPhone. I can filter according to type. I can filter according to done if I wanted to. None of them are done. And I can click the eye here, at which point my views pops up. Count type. Okay. I have 2 types of bugs. I have 1 feature and 1 documentation. Let's mark this one as done. Save. And now we can do a count by done. Let's mark this one as done. Save it. And now we have 2 to-dos that are done. And of course this data grid supports paging and you know, everything you really need to. I can download my items as a CSV file, and in fact, if we go home now and we go to Hyper SQL, we open up Camphora, we look at our to-do database, you will see that the items are stored in a MySQL database. And what's even more cool is that I can now, you see, this actually creates an application for me. So inside of my modules folder, if I open up Hyper IDE here, which is a web-based integrated development environment, you will see I have a folder called To Do. And here is my app. So this is the code for my app that was generated. As I created my app. And it also, in fact, allows me to include it as a widget. You see here I have camphora.todo.widgets.datagrid. Now I can actually use this data grid in my own module. So now if I create my own module, let's call it, you know, let's create it like this. It's faster. To do Hyper IDE. Let's just create it of type hello world. Then I want to include micro.css.include, container, col 100. I guess this is probably roughly correct. However, let's copy some code here. We don't really need everything here. So let's just create Hyper IDE. Now I'm including Hyper IDE on my page, and then beneath that I want to have a container widget with a row and a column, and inside of my column I want to have my to-do app. And now I can save this file. I can go back to my desktop and open up my to-do Hyper IDE, which actually didn't have a desktop icon, so I need to create a desktop icon for it. And in fact I can just copy this guy, more or less. All copy. Then create a new file called desktop.hl. Paste in this code. Delete the comment since it's not what it actually does. Jumbo paragraph justified. icon rocket. I think that's an icon, I'm not entirely sure. Yeah. Why didn't it show modules to do Hyper IDE? Desktop. To do Hyper IDE. I guess it's this one. Here we go. And that didn't entirely work because I need to include the widget, or create it rather. So I need to add one bugger on top of here, create widgets, save my file, and now hopefully it will work. And we can call it the right. Let's make sure the icon has the right title here. Desktop. To do Hyper IDE. Save. Go back to here. And here we go. Pretty cool, huh? Now we should probably include the CSS file for our to-do app here at the bottom. To do Hyper IDE. Launch. Dot include. To do, I think is its name. Let's check out that to be sure. You know what, it doesn't matter, we can include it by hand. Modules, to do, media, main.css. Save. And there we go. Pretty cool. Now it didn't allow us to edit the things, so let's do that. Modules. Launch, I guess, and then let's read the documentation for Camfura 5, or actually, to be more specific, our to-do app, which is automatically generated. Then we can use the eye icon to extract meta information, at which point we should be given the documentation for a data grid. And we can include edit, delete, and yeah, that's probably good enough. Edit, bool, true, delete, bool, true. Save. Go back to our newly created composition of app, and here we have the entirety of Hyper IDE, including our to-do. Which is pretty cool. You see, most CRUD app generators allows you to simply create CRUD apps, right? Now Camfura 5 doesn't only allow you to create a CRUD app, it will also automatically create a Hyperlambda API for that CRUD app, which allows you to use it as a module in other apps, which I think is pretty cool.